Hey guys, this is Nancy from Do Small Things with Love, and I am so excited to share with you everything about the 2018 Catholic Woman's Companion. Now you're looking right here at the cover of the planner, which says Through Small Things, Greatness. As you know, probably I love St. Therese and St. Therese's teaching on the little way, how the small things that we can do with great love are the true path to holiness. Those small things that are on our to-do list, the small things that we put on our calendar or in our week, those are so important. And so I really wanted a planner that celebrated the small things and that encouraged you to really try to do those with greater love each and every day. So here it is. This is the planner. Now I know I've been talking kind of abstract about why I created it, how I created it. But when it comes to a planner, you just have to see the inside to see if it works for you. So that's exactly what I'm going to do for you today. We're going to walk through all the major pages in the planner. I'm going to show them to you. Feel free to pause the video at any point if you want to look closer at something. And also you're welcome to email me if you have any questions. Okay, let's dive in. So a few pages in after, some standard beginning of planner pages are these two pages, which are the absolute heart of the planner. The one on the left describes the little way of St. Therese in very simple, applicable terms. This is written to be applied directly to Catholic women's lives. Now, don't be intimidated. I know many of you probably are aware of St. Therese and love her as much as I do, but if you don't know her, please don't be intimidated. St. Therese, although a doctor of the church, her holiness is a very simple type of holiness. It involves surrender and trust, and also just really focusing on the small ways that we're called to holiness and the small parts of our day, each day, that we can truly do with more love. So it's going to be in the beginning of the planner. You can read through it as many times as is helpful. The other page is probably even more helpful because it's an attempt to break down this little way into 3 steps, 3 things that we can do to really walk closer to God. The first one is to recognize who we are truly and who God is truly. The next one is to trust in God, and there's many different ways to really trust in God that we will be working on doing until we're gone. And then the third one is to try. After we recognize who God is, after we really trust in who He is and what He has promised to do for us, that we try to turn from sin, we try to do things with more love, and we try to recognize the small things in our life as a true opportunity for holiness. So in case that was a little bit hard to read, here's a clearer version of it. Feel free to stop the video here and read it a little bit if you'd like to. But as I said, this is at the beginning of the planner. Now I wanted the explanation of St. Therese's little way to be very simple. There's lots of other things that you can read to dig further into her writings and her teachings. This is very, very simple, but it's powerful, and I wanted a planner that really would call me too, back to the small things and the simple holiness of living the little way. So after that, we dive into the months. Each month starts like this with some beautiful words from St. Therese. Here's a better look at it. I know it's a little hard on digital to see it. It might look a little bit washed out. But it starts with the beautiful words of St. Therese. And if you haven't read much from her, she has a way of taking profound truths and saying them in such beautiful simplicity. So I really hope that her words hang with you all month long. This is what a month spread is going to look like, and this is from December 2017. So a couple things here. As you can notice, way on the far right are all the feast days of the Roman calendar in the Catholic Church. I have them all listed there as opposed to on the calendar because, we have a beautiful church. There are so many feast days, but it's kind of hard to celebrate them all. And I take my monthly calendar very seriously. This is kind of where I put every big event, school days off, trips. So I like it to be as clean as possible and only to transfer things over that really are going to be a part of our lives. Not hypothetical things, but things that we are actually going to do. So that's why I put the feast days off of the calendar. You can transfer them over. You can also use it as a quick reference guide if you just simply want to look for when a saint's feast day is. On the calendar itself are solemnities, things like holy days of obligations. As you can see on December 8th, the Immaculate Conception is listed there, as well as all the solemnities throughout the year. Also, the Sundays in the church calendar are listed so that you can have easy reference to readings as well. Following the month spread is a place to set goals and really think about the habits that you're going to encourage or eliminate in that month. On the left-hand side is a place to brainstorm. Maybe contemplate how the previous month went, what you want to happen in the upcoming month in the areas of prayer, health, relationships, and work. Right down the middle, this is something I really am so excited to include in this year's planner. It's ideas for liturgical living. Now, as I said, as Catholics, we have all of these wonderful feast days and traditions, and it can be intimidating to think about how to celebrate them all, especially for us that have lots of little kids or full-time jobs or whatever it might be. And it's nice just to have a couple of simple ideas right there that we can pull out. And wouldn't it be great if we could do 2 beautiful liturgical activities in our families or in our classrooms each month? For a lot of us, that would be a huge improvement. And even for me, some months, that would be a huge improvement. So I really wanted to think of things that are simple to do. Now, as you can see, the first idea here is the Jesse tree. There's lots of great options for Jesse trees to do during Advent. But if you look at the bottom of that description in parentheses, it says digital. Now, this means that if you purchase a Liturgical Living digital bundle, which I'm offering for $10 additional with the planner, if you would like, no obligations to get that. But if you would like, that means that this activity is in there, and all of the activities in there are easy printable activities. Literally, print it, read the instructions that come with it, hand it to your family, and use it. It's a real plug and play kind of activity, which is exactly what a lot of us need. Maybe, and especially like with the Jesse tree, it's great because you can sit in color with your kids, you can read the verses together, you can really learn about these ancestors of Jesus together. It's not something that you need to prep or feel like an expert on before you actually do it. Now finally, the right-hand page here is a habit tracker. This was included in the 2017 planner. I loved it personally for what it was able to help me to cultivate in my life and eliminate in my life. And I heard lots of other people really like to use it. So I included it again this year, and it's much bigger. I feel like it's going to be a lot easier to use because it's more horizontal. But the idea here is to really think about those small things that you wrote down on the other side of this page, to write them here and to track all month long how you've done. Because remember, it's the little things, those small choices we make each day that are so important. And finally, this is what a week spread looks like in the planner. A few things here. On the far left-hand side, there's going to be a verse or two which are taken from the Sunday Gospel. Now, these are taken from the Gospel of December 3rd, which is the last day in this week. So the idea is that all week long, you can look and read those gospel verses, and you kind of use it as the mantra for your life, for your week, as you think about what needs to be done and make plans. So that's why the Sunday verses are there. On the other far side is a place to write down notes and intentions. I'm constantly offering and to pray for people or being asked to pray for them, which I take very seriously, and I like having a place to write that down in a place where I look often, which is my planner. You can also just write notes there as well. Now the final thing, and it's pretty small to see in this picture, but if you can see at the bottom of each day, centered at the bottom of it, is the citation for the daily readings. Now I know a lot of us get the daily readings delivered directly through us, maybe through email, or we have a subscription to a publication. So perhaps you won't use this, and that's why it's there very small. But I included this for a couple of reasons. First of all, I heard from a lot of people that they really liked having those citations in there because they used them with their children. For homeschooling moms, a lot of them like the practice of having their children actually pull out a Bible, find the books and the verses, and read the passages directly from the Bible. I also kind of like to do that myself once in a while. It's a good reminder just that this is one big story and that each day of the daily readings is part of that salvation story. So that's why those are in there, including the Sunday verses. Now finally, I know this looks pretty blank and boring, and it is, but I wanted to include a picture of the notes pages. The final part of the planner is a pretty extensive, lots of pages of notes, which are just blank like this. Now, I wanted a planner that was not as prescriptive as last year. One thing that I found as I use a planner and spend a lot of time intentionally reflecting on how I use a planner, how others use a planner, I realized the things that we write down are so individual. Each of our lives require for the documentation of totally different things. And what's more, the things that I want to write down during my weekly calendar or during my monthly calendar, those change. And so it's very hard to create a planner that's going to have every tiny little page and graph and chart that you will need throughout the year. And even if I do try to create those things, chances are it's not going to function exactly in the way that you want it to function. So what I found through myself and my co-creator in a lot of ways for this planner was my sister Maria. What we really thought about is that, I have a lot of important lists that I need to make. And sometimes I just need a blank piece of paper. But I want that list to be somewhere important. I don't want it to be on just a stray sticky note that a kid grabs and colors on or that accidentally gets thrown away. I want it to be in a book that's important, and maybe I can even put a tab on that page so that I know to come back to it. So also Maria and I decided in the first version of this planner, I had a couple of blank notebook pages following each month. But we decided to put all of the notebook pages at the end of the planner, all together, so that everything that you write down in the planner can be important. If you write down a list and it ends up being after January and then you're looking for it back in April, it can be really confusing where things are. Whereas if you have all of your notes at the end, you can put a special tab on things and organize and make that note section exactly into what you need it to be. Whether it's homeschool planning or car maintenance or, recording insurance claims, whatever it might be. Maybe even just writing down good movies to see, good books to read. We all have different things that we write down, and this is a space to just write down what you need to write down. Finally, I really wanted this planner to be as affordable as possible. I personally don't have $60 to spend on a planner, and I know a lot of people don't. And I really wanted each Catholic woman to have the ability to have a beautiful Catholic planner without having to worry about the cost. So I kept this planner as reasonably priced as I could. However, that meant that I couldn't get it printed with tabs included. So I had my designer create a simple PDF that has all the tabs that you would need for this planner. You're going to get it delivered to you digitally as soon as you purchase a planner. Once your planner arrives, and you can do this in about 10 minutes, I promise, it's very simple. Once your planner arrives, simply print out that single page of tabs. I printed mine on cardstock, a very reasonably priced cardstock that I got at Walmart that I actually just had on hand. I printed it, the design and the fonts are going to match your planner perfectly. Everything is a straight cut, so you can get everything added into your planner in about 10 minutes. I use some double-sided tape. Very simple. I even did it with a baby on my lap. So it's as simple as it can be. And there's also going to be some blank tabs included if you want to add some organization to the notes section of your planner as well. Just some quick facts on the Catholic Woman's Companion. So it's not on sale yet, unless you're coming to this later. But it will be on sale November 1st, and the first sales price that I'm excited to offer it for is $30. Now that does not include shipping, but I'm working very hard with some companies to make shipping as reasonably priced as possible as well. It's going to be very simple to purchase. I'm using Shopify to do all the sales this year, so it will be much simpler than last year, and they will be shipped directly from me. I'm going to be working hard to get those shipped out the door as quickly as possible as well. If you'd like to get the planner and the liturgical living digital bundle, now all of those materials are completely digital, that will add $10 to your price. And remember, it's $10 additional cost, but it's over $50 worth of material. And that price is $40. That will only be available for the first week though. On November 8th, the price will increase to $37, which is the price I agreed with the publisher that I would actually sell it for, but I'm a sucker and I decided to sell it for $30 So if you want a good deal, get in before November 8th. The digital bundle of liturgical living materials will not be available after November 8th. And that's because my husband, who's the accountant, thinks it's kind of crazy that I'm selling it for $10. So I promised him I'd only offer it for a week. So make sure you get in and get it while you can. And finally, I need to tell you, all of these were published through a traditional publisher. That means that all of the planners that I'm going to have are printed and are sitting on a pallet in my garage. I do not plan to order any more. I can't. This was the only run that we're going to do. So once the planners are gone, they're gone, unfortunately. I do plan to sell them all. So if you are worried about getting one, just hurry up and purchase one right away. And if you want to be known or to be informed the minute that they go on sale, make sure that you are on my email list, which you can easily sign up for at my site, which is DoSmallThingsWithLove.com. Okay, a few things. I don't want anybody to purchase a planner and have some like, what? When it comes in the mail. So I want you to know it's big. This is not something that you can put in your back pocket. This is something that you can plan your entire week, your to-do list, your diet, your exercise routine, your kids' homeschool. This is something you can put all of those in. It's more horizontal than vertical. It's 10 inches by 7 inches. So if you have a stack of books, it will easily fit, nicely in line with that stack of books. But it is big. Also, it's not overly prescriptive, and I think I've been talking about that. If you're looking for something that's going to have you mark off each glass of water that you drink each day and write down, a place to write down the mileage of each of your vehicles and a place to write down, every chore, have a checklist for every chore that you could possibly think of in your home, like this is not the planner for you. There's lots of good planners like that out there. This is more of a simple attempt at a planner, something that's just going to allow you to really contemplate prayerfully what needs to be done in your home, what needs to be recorded, a nice white space to write a lot of those things down, along with all of our beautiful Catholic tradition. And so it is not overly prescriptive. Plan to use every page of this planner because it can be exactly what you need it to be. And finally, be warned, this planner is very Catholic. If you are not Catholic, this planner is not for you. I love you, but it's not for you. With the feast days and the daily readings and Saint Therese and all of it, there's just so many parts of this planner that aren't going to make any sense if you're not Catholic. And that's it. So feel free to stop by my site to learn more about the digital bundle if you're interested in that. Also, remember the planner goes on sale November 1st. If you want one before they run out, come get one real quick. And I'm so excited to get this planner into your hands and to hear all the wonderful work that St. Therese can continue to do through your life and through my life through this very simple planner. Thank you so much.